All right. Good evening, students. I am recording this so that I can help you with the major grades. This is the second major grade that you will have to do, which is the Module 1, Test 1. There will be another test that you have to do in Module 1 because Module 1 has 3 topics. This was basically topic 1. So let's get into it so it doesn't take too long. Once again, I will be helping you with the process and I will be helping you set up. But as far as solving, you have to solve and do the rest. Unless the question deals with information, then I will provide the information you need to apply to the problem, but I'm not going to supply you with the answers. So to begin, let's go to the tab so you can see what I see. So it should say Module 1, Test 1. Check out Euphoria for scores, then correct what you got wrong. I tried to check Eduphoria on two different students' computers. It does not let you see your previous test for whatever reason. I don't know. So you'll basically be starting a whole new attempt. So let's start it off. So the first thing we have is this. Once again, if you need a little help reading,
the head of a nail is circular, as shown. The head of this nail has a diameter of 6 millimeters.
Now, all students have that, but if you don't need it, please don't use it. You need to be able to read the problems on your own because if this is not an option for you, and what I mean by an option, you already know by your school records, if it is not in your school records that you are allowed to have a question read to you, then please don't abuse this option because when you're testing in class, you're not going to be given this option. Reason I give this option is because if you are a student that has trouble reading, have it read and then you read it yourself after it's done. That way you kind of already heard how the words are to be pronounced and all you have to do is repronounce them and get familiar with the words that have been said. So first we have to read the problem. So the head of a nail is circular as shown. The head of this nail has a diameter of 6 millimeters. Which measurement is closest to the area of the head of this nail in square millimeters? So after you read, the next thing on Ruby says to underline the question. I would not underline this entire question because you really just need to underline what you're finding. So we are finding the area of the head of the nail in square millimeters. The square millimeters just mean we are finding area. Anytime you see square and a unit after, that's a hint to find area, and along it also says to find the area. So it's telling you twice, loud and clear, find the area. And the head of the nail. What do we know about the head of the nail? The head of the nail is circular. So since the head of the nail is circular, we're finding the area of a circle. It also says it has a diameter of 6 millimeters. That also lets us know we're talking about a circle because only circles have diameters. Well, let's go out to our trusty little notepad here and see what we can get for this question. We know the head of the nail is a circle. And we want the area of a circle because the question wants the area of the head of the nail. So for the area of a circle, we use pi times r to the power of 2. So once we have our formula, now we need our numbers. Well, we know pi equals 3.14, and we have to find r. This problem did not provide us with r, it provided us with the diameter, which is 6 millimeters. So to find r, we have to remember that the diameter is longer than the radius, and it's longer by 2 times. So we divide this by 2. That gives us a radius of 3. Then we set up a problem. We have 3.14 times 3 to the power of 2. So of course you have to do the exponent first. Now I'm gonna let you finish solving this because once again, I told you I will help you with setup. I am not solving the problem for you. Once you solve this, then you will be able to arrive at your answers. And of course, these are your answer choices. Let's move on to number 2. Let me move my notepad out the way. All right, number 2. Use the inline. I think that's supposed to say online. I made a mistake. Use the online choice to select the solution, the correct solution. All Spring ISD high schools are building new racing tracks. The tracks will be constructed with a rectangle and 2 semicircles. The plans include for the inside of the track to be filled with grass. In order to determine the amount of grass it will take to fill one of the tracks, the formula used will be blank. All right. Instead of using the notepad, I will be using the whiteboard so you can see me process this out. So first of all, what are we looking for? We're looking for the formula. So we're not having to solve anything. We're not having to solve anything. We are simply selecting the formula. So let's start processing this out. It says this track will be constructed of a rectangle and 2 semicircles. So you've been to school, you know what a track looks like. And a track goes in a circular motion, but it also has straightaways. So it's not just completely straight. So let's draw what this track should look like. It says a rectangle and 2 semicircles. So usually a track is around a football field. The football field is the rectangular part. And then, of course, the circle part comes from after you run, you're going to curve and run in the opposite direction. And we have 2 of these. So the track, you're running along, you're going to curve, run the opposite direction. Then you're going to curve around and come back this way. Now, once again, they're not asking us to solve this. They're just asking for the formulas. So how would we solve this after you arrive at the formula? So we know we have a rectangle. So that means we have R. We have A is equal to B times H. We have a circle, 2 semicircles. 2 semicircles is equal to 1 circle. And we're finding the area of that 1 circle. So we have pi equals R squared. Now, if you have an answer choice that do not have these letters, then of course that would be the wrong answer choice. The answer choice has to have the B, the H, the pi, the R, and the exponent. Next thing for the formula, what are we doing with this shape? They're filling the inside. So remember, the track is around. You run around the track. They're filling all the inside with grass. So since they're filling all the inside with grass, that includes the rectangle and the inside of these circles. So you're going to have to combine these 2 areas together after you solve them. And that's about as far as I can go. So this should be enough information for you to arrive at the answer after you have your formulas. Oh, and if you're wondering why I did not show The answer choices, it does not let me show drop downs for some odd reason. So we're just going to leave it at that. Number 3, the diameter of a circle is 4 centimeters. What is the circumference of the circle in centimeters? Round your answer to the nearest hundred. I've told you this before. Most of the time, they're going to ask you to round to the hundreds place or even the tenths. Never the thousandths, not in middle school at least. So I read the problem. The question is asking for the circumference of a circle in centimeters. Notice it doesn't say square centimeters, because if it had said square, that is specifically area. So I'm looking for the circumference. They gave me the diameter of a circle is 4 centimeters. So I have the diameter. I have the diameter. So going to my notepad. Number 3. Whoops. Didn't mean to separate that. Number 3, I'm looking for circumference. Of a circle, which means I need the formula for circumference of a circle. Remember, there are 2 of them. We have circumference equals pi times d. And then you have pi times 2 times r. And which one would be best depends on which one you're given. In this problem, we're given diameter, so it will be best for us to use the c equals pi times d. So in the case of this problem, that would be 3.14 times 4. And then, of course, you can finish solving this on your own. All right, number 4. Move my notepad. As I've said before, it's not letting me show drop downs for some reason. I don't know why. So let's see what's going on. Benny drew 2 circles. The first circle has a diameter of 9 centimeters, and the second circle has a diameter of 18 centimeters. What conclusion can be drawn about ratios of the circumference to the diameter for both circles? Choose the correct I think that's supposed to be correct items from each drop-down menu to complete the statement. The ratios are blank. The options are the same or different for both circles because the diameters are different lengths. There is no relationship between the 2 values. The diameter divided by the circumference is always equal to pi, and the circumference divided by the diameter is always equal to pi. Well, let's see what's going on. It wants us to draw a conclusion about ratios of the circumference to the diameter for both circles. Well, what do we know about circumference? We know circumference is the distance around a circle, and the diameter goes from one end of the circle to the other through the center. But what about the ratio? Well, the ratio means we're writing a fraction of circumference to diameter. So when do we write ratios of circumference to diameter? When we're looking for pi. If you don't believe me, let me open up the dictionary. We're going to find the definition of pi and see if they have an example of what this looks like. So pi is pi. What's pi? Here we go. So pi. Pi, the ratio of a circle circumference to its diameter. That is exactly what the question just asked us. In other words, all the way around a circle divided by all the way across it. The symbol is the Greek alphabet. No matter how large or small the circle, its circumference is always pi times its diameter. So what that means is circumference divided by diameter equals pi every time. So with this knowledge, hopefully that helps you answer the question of the ratio, drawing a conclusion about the ratio of pi, the ratio of the circumference to the diameter for both circles. Number 5. Joseph paid $47 for 4 movie tickets. Each ticket cost the same amount. What was the cost of each movie ticket in dollars and cents? Now, here's the thing about this question. And I don't think we had a short answer question yet. Here's the thing about this question. When you do this question, there's a specific way they wanted you to do this question. Now, when you originally took this test, it did not look like a fill in the blank. It actually had some boxes and a decimal point for you to deal with. That's because this was a griddable choice. So griddables usually have a plus or a minus. Then you have 4 boxes, which means you have the thousands place, the hundreds, the tens, and the ones. It has a decimal point, and then you have the tens, the 10th place, and the hundredths place. So when you write your answer, let's say the answer was $47. It's not, but let's say the answer was $47. The 47 is positive. So the first thing I would type, or the first thing I would put into the box, is a positive symbol. This is $47, which means I have to start at the 10th place. So I would put 2 zeros, because that was for my 1,000 and my 100. Then I would put 47. Since it's just $47, I would put the decimal and 2 zeros afterward. And that would fill in my griddable. This is how you need to type in your short answer to get it correct. I did not have those directions here. So if you didn't do it the first time, that's fine. I gave you credit if you had the correct answer, even if it was without the positive and the zeros. Now, let's go back to the question. We want the cost of each movie ticket in dollars and cents. Each movie ticket. They give us 47 for 4 movie tickets. We want the cost of each movie ticket. So what operation do you think we are about to do if we want each? Well, we're going to have to divide. So we're dividing 47 divided by 4. Now, remember when you do this, you actually have to put the 47 inside. So remember, it's 47 over 4 with the numerator in, numerator in, denominator out. So I set this up as 47 divided by 4. And then, of course, once you solve, you will have your answer to type in to the problem. Number 6. The diagram below shows the radius of the circular opening of a drinking cup. Which of the following is closest to the circumference of the opening in centimeters? Once again, this is saying closest to the circumference of the opening in centimeters. Once again, it doesn't say square, so we're not solving for area. This is specifically circumference. So just like, what question was it? Just like question 3, we had to find the circumference of the circle. Question 6 is the same. Circumference of a circle. But But this time, going up here, it tells us 4 centimeters, and it only goes from the center to a point on the circle, which means this is radius. And the formula we use for radius is C equals pi times 2 times R. So to set this up, I have 3.14 times 2 times 4. And once I finish multiplying all these numbers, that would help, that will arrive at the answer I need. Number 7, a rotating lawn sprinkler sprays water in a circular area of grass, as shown in the picture. The diameter, let me move this out the way. The diameter of the circular area of the grass is 16 feet. So basically, water sprinkler going around watering the grass in a circular motion. Which measurement is the closest to the area in square feet that this sprinkler sprays water? Sprinkler sprays with water. So we're looking for the area in square feet of the sprinkler and how far it sprays. And it told us that the diameter, let me move this, the diameter of the circle area was 16 feet. So for number 7, we're finding area of a circle, because it says circular, so that's area of a circle. We need pi times r to the power of 2. Problem is we were given diameter 16. Yeah. Diameter 16 feet. Means we need to divide that by 2 to get the r. Once you have your r, it's 3.14 times r to the power of 2. And I'll let you figure out what r is, and then of course solve the rest of the problem. Number 8. London uses a semicircle, a rectangle, and a right triangle to form the figure. Which is the best estimate of the area of the figure in square centimeters? So we're looking for the best estimate of the area in square centimeters. Once again, the square lets us know very well that we're finding area. This one I'm going to do on the whiteboard because I'm going to redraw this picture to label it with my numbers. So let me do another white sheet, and I'm going to draw this figure. So it said I had a rectangle, a semicircle, which was on this side, and a right triangle. All right, it doesn't look exactly, but this is pretty much the figure. A rectangle, circle, triangle. Over here, it has 4 centimeters. Up here, it has 6. And down here, for the entire length, it has 10. Now, let's break down these numbers so that we can start finding area. So I know the rectangle has 2 parallel sides, the top and the bottom, the left and the right, which means this is also 4. And this bottom is 6. So I have 6 and 6, 4 and 4. I need the bottom of this triangle because I need the base. This whole thing is 10, but 6 of that 10 is rectangle. That means the rest of it goes to the triangle. To go from 6 to 10, I need a 4. So that means this base is 4. We already have this number we need for the semicircle, so let's start getting our formulas together. We have a rectangle, a triangle, and a semicircle. So the formula is going to be different for this one. This one is base times height. This one is 1/2 base times height. This one is pi r squared divided by 2. because we only have half of a circle. We don't have a full circle. So let's get our numbers. The base of the rectangle is 6. And you're going to multiply that by the height, which is the 4, because the height goes from the base to the top. And then you solve this. Next, triangle. The triangle's base is 4, because this is the bottom. The height is also 4, because this is the height of the triangle. So that's 4. And then once I multiply this, I'm going to divide the whole thing by 2 and get my answer. For the C, I'm going to do it over here so I have no space. We have 3.14. And then we need radius. And we were given diameter. The diameter is 4 because it goes from one point on the circle to the other through the center. Divide that by 2 because the diameter is double this, and that will give you radius. Radius is not a box. You need to fill this box with the number you need. So after you have the radius, square it, and then divide by 2. Now, if you're not sure how the order of operations works with this, you basically do the top or the bottom. It depends on which one has more than one operation. Our top has 2. We have to multiply, and we have an exponent. The bottom just has a 2. So we don't have to solve anything on the bottom. It's already a single number. So our top needs to be a single number. So of course we do exponent first, then multiply with whatever the exponent answer was, multiply, and then once we have a single number, we're going to divide that number by 2. And then since this shape is touching, you're going to add all that together. So the rectangle area, the triangle area, and the circle area will give you the answer you seek. Last and finally is number 9. Number 9 is another fill in the blank, and it's another shape. So I will be redrawing this and labeling it so I know what my numbers are. So let's read it so we can see what it says. A drawing of a sailboat was made using a rectangle and 2 right triangles, as shown. What is the area of the drawing of the sailboat in square centimeters? Area, square centimeters. So, number 9, area of sailboat. And it says I have a rectangle and 2 right triangles. And since we did a rectangle and a triangle on the problem before, was it number 8? Yeah. Since we did a rectangle and a triangle on the number before, we still have the formulas for that if you wrote them down from the previous problem. So let me draw my shape. I'm going to draw the rectangle first. Then I have a triangle. And I'm going to split it because these 2 are touching. This is 2. This is 3. This line is 6. This is 2.5. And this is 12. All right, everything is labeled for me. So I have a rectangle, triangle 1, and triangle 2. So we can just say triangle 1 is the one on the left, triangle 2 is the one on the right. We have our formulas based on height here, 1/2 base times height, and 1/2 base times height. The rectangle, we have the base of 12 times the height, 2.5. Here we have the left one, we have a base of 2. The height from And the height has to be a straight line, so we can't do slants. No slants. It has to be a straight line from the base to the top of the shape, straight line is 6. And then once I solve, I divide that entire thing by 2. For the one on the right, triangle 2, the base is 3. The height, once again, is 6. Since they're touching, they have the same height. And divide all of that by 2. Once you solve each one, since it didn't ask for shaded, and this entire, all 3 shapes make the sailboat, we have to add them together. So the area of the rectangle plus the area of triangle 1 plus the area of triangle 2 equals the area of the entire figure. Then once you're done with that, hit review, hit finish. If you've make sure you've looked at all the unattempted. In mine, all of these are unattempted because I didn't click or put any answer in. Once you know you've answered everything, hit finish. Yours will say submit. Mine doesn't because I can't submit this since I'm just viewing it. Submit it, and then it will, when I get to it, it will be graded. Once I grade it, you should see a new grade if you got the short answer ones correct, because I will have to go in and grade those myself. And then once you see my feedback, if you got something wrong, just look at the feedback, answer your problem, and your grade will increase because you will redo what you got wrong. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, but do not ask me for answers. I will only help you with the process and the setup.